He's right about the revolving fund, though, the capital.
What's a mess? This is foolishness.
Okay.
We're on?
Yes.
Okay, called the meeting to order, the meeting of the Bylaw Charter Review Committee, Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, in the small hearing room at Town Hall. We have a quorum present. We would still love to have people join us because we still have 2 open positions. Public comment, no public here. We can move on to review and approval of the minutes of January 14th, 2025. There was no meeting in February, and you received the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, any comments?
No.
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, 3-0. We have still yet to hear from any response from the Select Board at the report that we sent in December 2024. We've had absolutely no response. So, and I see nothing on what is passing for our articles in the warrant that have anything to do with, so
Okay, so
I think,
just keep it on as continuing
yep,
business, right?
somebody will respond
Okay.
to us. So we had no response. Under new business, we have some possible bylaws in the current draft warrant, and these are the ones with language. There has yet to be made available to the public a complete warrant. So you have to go piecemeal through each select board agenda, packet, to see if you've got one here and one over there,
And the numbering.
and the numbering is a nightmare.
Yeah, the Cs or Fs or, finance.
Yes, so
or-
if it's a finance article, it's F1, F2.
Right.
If it's a CPC article, you got C1, C2.
Right.
If it's a governance article, it's G1, G.
Okay, so.
Nobody has any idea what they're voting on.
Right, so it makes it very confusing.
So the numbering is very confusing?
They
Yes,
haven't-
at this
okay.
point.
At this point, they haven't numbered the warrant yet either, so.
Okay.
So it's not, yes, I
it's
think we're
not
spending more
complete.
time coming up with cutesy little numbering systems than we are
Okay.
numbering the damn articles. So, I think what is in the warrants that I have been able to see, the ones that have language are, there was a change in the length of the demolition delay,
Yeah,
the fertilizer again, the pesticides again, a tree preservation again, amend chapter 125 of the bylaws, and amend chapter 8, the removal of the also of the golf infrastructure fund. This is part of the revolving funds. There is no language yet to be found anywhere on a zoning bylaw amendment on ADU, accessory dwelling units,
okay.
but it's being carried on the warrant sheet, and also amending bylaw chapter 140.
Yeah.
Chapter 140 has to do with the Affordable Housing Trust. So I have called Larry Ballantyne, waiting to hear from him as to what does he think some changes are even being considered, because the warrant has to close in a week
Okay.
or thereabouts.
Right.
So those 2 we don't have at all. The change in the demolition delay. Have no idea what article that is now, but it is basically to take the demolition delay, take the demolition from 1 year to making it a year and a half.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right.
The Finance Committee has voted to accept and adopt. The Select Board, Finance Committee vote was 8-0. The Select Board was 4-1 to
Okay.
accept and adopt. I don't think there's anything that is for the Bylaw Charter Review Committee to get concerned about. It's just
Okay.
changing the amount of time.
Okay.
Right.
We have I did not send out to you, I just sent out the first page in our packet because the fertilizer bylaw, the pesticides, the tree preservation are all a zillion pages. Basically, it's, and I've heard Mr. Otten speak to the Select Board, it is effectively what he had in there last year, so it's the same.
Right.
And I know on the fertilizers, the Finance Committee has accepted and adopt 5-2. Select Board are 0-5. They are not supporting it. The pesticides, Finance Committee is again 5-2. Select Board is not supporting at 5-0. And the tree preservation, 1, the Finance Committee is not supporting by a vote of 0-7. Select Board not supporting 0-5. It is, they are exactly the same
Same
ones
ones.
from last year.
Okay.
Tree prism, yep.
So I don't know how much more we want to discuss these three.
I don't think, I have nothing. You, Anita?
I have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing either.
What's amend C 125 Birch? Just
Mr. Birch is the
Mr. Birch.
petitioner, so it's a private petition.
Tom Birch?
And
Tom
Chapter
Birch.
125, it is deleting Articles 2 and 4 completely. Article 2 was the ban of single-use plastic water bottles in the town of Harwich.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Article 4 was the ban of single-use plastic food service container, utensils, and associated plastics for, in a restaurant.
Okay.
You know, they give
Wants
you a
them
plastic.
taken- Yep, yep, yep.
So it is to rescind those two portions of Chapter 125 of our general bylaws.
Do we know if the FinCom has voted on this or the Board of Selectmen?
FinCom has voted not to support it. They voted accept and adopt 2, 6 against, and 0. So they have not supported this.
Okay. And Select Board has not put a,
Has not supported the,
the
Yes, the
ban of
FinCom
the-
is not
the ban.
supporting the ban, rescission of the ban. Let me see what I have here. Let me see if I've got a... Okay, petitions, where's 125? Select Board is 401 to support. So we have a split decision here on this
Yes.
one. But I don't see anything for us to discuss. I think it is going to
No.
be an interesting discussion.
yes,
Because I
Yep.
remember this when it was passed, what, 2 years ago?
yes.
And-
It was a long, long meeting, yes.
And there was a lot of discussion.
Yes,
And I recall at the time that there's all kinds of wooden utensils that you can get, and they're cheaper than plastic. And I remember all this
Yep, yep,
discussion.
Yep, yep, I remember that too.
And I think part of it had come up, from what I understand from someone I was speaking with, is because the article said it would go into effect at a certain time. Well, now it's a year later, and that time is coming up, and now everybody's excited again. So it'll be interesting
It'll be-
to
yep,
see.
Yep, yep.
But I don't think there's anything else for us to do with that. Mr. Birch. And the only other one that I know about is amending Chapter 8 of the bylaws. I gave you a copy of it. I pulled it out of the Select Board's packet from yesterday. To remove the Golf Infrastructure Fund had been put in as a revolving fund. It has been determined it's not legally a revolving fund, but it's a receipts reserve fund, and therefore shouldn't be included under this bylaw chapter, and it's really something different than a revolving fund.
Okay,
And they have that information from the attorney, I believe, that this has been reviewed. Does it really belong there? So this article removes the Golf Infrastructure Fund from Chapter 8, which
Okay.
is the listing of all the authorized revolving funds.
okay.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that there's much more for us to...
It's more of an awareness, right?
It's an awareness,
Yeah,
I
across-
think.
Yep, yep, yep.
And I know that there is yet to be any language, even though it's listed, on some kind of zoning bylaw change on ADUs, but there's been no language anywhere,
Okay,
as well as the amend bylaw, Chapter 140, which is the Affordable Housing Trust. And what's on that chapter is how they get appointed, the duties and responsibilities, and how someone gets removed. That's it.
Right.
I don't see what they're changing here. I've heard no conversation anywhere as to what this might possibly be.
Okay.
Okay.
So those two, not a clue.
Okay.
So that's all I got for this stuff. Is there any other business?
I have none, I need a.
No, I don't have anything.
It is disappointing that we have to hunt through the packets to get bylaw changes, that for some reason town administration does not seem to be able to send us copies as they're filed, like they're supposed to. And we had this issue last year, the year before. It's just a refusal to follow the charter and a refusal to be cooperative. And it's really disappointing.
Yes, frustrating, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because I have to keep going through to see if I've missed any.
It would make this board's job a lot easier if we had some cooperation from administration,
Mhm.
so that way we would be more prepared for town meeting.
Yeah.
Because aren't we supposed to give a report at town meeting?
Yep. And we will,
Yes.
and it
Okay.
will basically be that we did review them. We didn't see anything that would be a conflict anywhere, because I think that's what we're saying. We don't really see any conflicts, well, except for the two we haven't seen at all.
Right.
And I think that's where we are with this.
Okay.
But it is, the lack of cooperation is
I mean,
disappointing.
it needs to be consolidated, so we can just, yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, and I would have thought, I mean, in the past, you're supposed to have all the articles in written form by that first Friday,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
So where are they? And why are things still being written? It seems like a direct inability to get the job done. Any future agenda items? Okay, we're scheduled for April 8th,
Yep.
my birthday.
I know,
Is it really?
I was just gonna comment, are you sure you wanna
Let's see.
spend 10 minutes
I-
of your birthday here?
I can't imagine something better to do.
April 8th. Yep,
Yep. ELCR meeting.
yep, it's right there. I was just looking at the meetings, the meeting date.
Curiosity I have I know it's not a bylaw charter review issue, but I know that there's an article that's going to be there on using clickers for counting at town meeting. There's going to be an
I heard about
article.
that. Yes, I heard about that. Make it easier instead of someone up there counting, you know.
And having to waste the time going up and down the
Yes,
aisles.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good thing.
I guess I have heard that, the idea would not to be use it for every single count, but things
Just
like
for
the
standing
the
counts.
the 2/3 count,
Mhm.
some of those that actually require a majority.
Would that be a bylaw change? No.
It's not a
No,
bylaw
I
change,
didn't
but I
think
was
so.
just
It's
bringing
a
it,
procedure.
it's a
Yeah,
procedure.
No, that's, yeah,
Procedure.
I guess there's a little cost to it every year, about $35,000. But it seems like sitting there for 20 minutes while somebody does this up
I
and
know,
down
I
the
know,
aisles,
I
and
know.
this would actually do the math and get it in.
Yeah, no.
It seems like it would just make it go faster, more smoothly.
And I just thought I'd bring this up too, that I have done the state ethics.
Thank you.
I did get a notification, and there was another notification that came along, and I did that one as well. So I've got one for December of '24, and then I've gotten one for March of '25.
There you go, so you're good to
Who do
go.
we send them to? Do
They
we-
automatically get sent to the town clerk's office.
Because you put down what town you are,
Right.
so then they automatically send it to town clerk.
I did
Right.
it for the community college. So do I just forward that to?
Oh, sorry.
I'll find out.
Sure.
I'll find
Yeah.
out.
You should be able to do that,
I
yeah.
don't think so,
Yeah.
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 I mean, how many times do you have to do this? The questions don't change.
No, they don't. So- SOS, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think there's a place where you can put in that it's for, the certificate is for several committees, because I'm on the library trustees, and I'm on
Okay,
this, and I'm
okay.
on traffic safety. So I get one that has everybody on it.
Yeah, yeah, sure, you just take it once.
Yeah. Well, that's where I think we are at this point.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It's 5:15. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I'm going back to the Finance Committee.
Let me turn that off.
Get off?